Imagine like a legendary classic rock band suddenly ditching their guitars to drop a heavy EDM album.
Oh, that's quite the image.
Right. But that is exactly what Jaguar is doing this month. Welcome to the deep dive, by the way. Our mission today is to sift through this huge stack of May 2026 sources.
Yeah, we've got a lot to get through today.
We really do. We've got everything from glossy press releases to, savage auto blogs and Italian news sites, all to dissect Jaguar's highly controversial brand reset and their brand new electric flagship, the Type 01.
Which is definitely making waves.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, let's unpack this. Because the leap from classic V8s to, well, an electric spaceship is pretty jarring.
It really is. And what's fascinating here is how carefully they are trying to bridge that massive gap between their history and this new electronic direction. Even the name is deeply calculated.
The Type 01 name, right.
Exactly. So the word type honors their racing heritage, specifically nodding to the 1951 Le Mans winning C-Type.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Right. And then you have the 0, which represents zero tailpipe emissions, and the 1 marking the very first vehicle of a completely new generation.
But why risk a complete reset, Like when their rivals are still out there catering to traditionalists with big, roaring V8 engines?
Well, they're betting the house on their new JEA architecture.
That's the four-door Grand Tourer.
Yeah.
It's got a tri-motor setup, meaning one motor for the front wheels and two for the rear.
Yeah, and it's pushing out over 1,000 horsepower and 1,300 newton meters of torque.
That is just insane power. Plus, they're targeting 478 miles of range with the ability to supposedly add 200 miles in just 15 minutes of charging.
Right, and to hit those massive range and power numbers simultaneously, they're pulling fast-switching silicon carbide inverters straight from their Formula E racing tech.
Oh, wow, Formula E.
Yeah, because silicon carbide handles intense heat and electricity far more efficiently than standard silicon. That is exactly how you squeeze out nearly 500 miles of range without starving those 1,000 horses.
Makes sense. And they actually paraded a pink camouflaged prototype, didn't they?
They did, through Rascasse and Portier, which are like the tightest, most unforgiving corners of the Monaco street circuit.
Just to prove it's not a straight-line dragster.
Exactly.
So the strategy here isn't just about eco-friendliness. It's about brute-forcing traditionalists into respecting the car's track capabilities before they even look at the design.
Right, getting ahead of the critics.
But does raw electric power automatically make it a true Jaguar? Looking at the sources, the reception is, well, it's wildly polarizing.
Oh, completely.
Over at Piston Heads, they noted that for some, the design is about as appealing as and this is a, quote, comfort peacock in an adjacent EasyJet seat.
Wow.
That is a brutal image.
It really is brutal. But we definitely need to look at this objectively because you have two very entrenched camps here.
Right.
Jaguar officially calls their new design philosophy exuberant modernism. Like, they see it as bold and fearless.
Sure, of course they do.
But the European press is definitely feeling the friction. I mean, the Italian media is literally dubbing the Type 01 the Jaguar of discord.
The Jaguar of discord.
Yeah. People are fundamentally clashing over what a modern luxury car should look like.
Well, here's where it gets really interesting. Because if the exterior, with its completely glassless tailgate, is provocative, the interior is way wilder.
Oh, it's entirely different.
They've built this 3.2-meter brass spine running right through the cabin. And the seats are supported by actual travertine stone, so they appear to float.
Yeah, the floating stone seats are wild.
And then there's this prism case. You insert physical natural material totems, like alabaster or brass.
Right.
And by plugging these in, you're essentially completing a digital circuit that instantly recalibrates the ambient lighting, the soundscape, and even pumps a specific scent through the HVAC.
Yeah, they are mechanically mimicking a mood.
It's crazy.
By using materials like stone and woven wool blends, they are trying to replace the visceral thrill of a combustion engine with a completely different sensory overload.
Almost like a drivable lounge.
Exactly. It's engineering an emotional environment rather than just a mechanical transport. It's a massive gamble on what future luxury buyers will actually value.
So what does this all mean for you, listening at home? It challenges how you view the premium items in your own life.
Definitely.
Like, are you paying for mechanical craftsmanship, like the gears of an automatic watch? Or are you paying for a highly customized sensory experience? You are getting a front row seat to watch a 90-year-old legacy brand gamble its entire existence on that exact question.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it forces us to rethink legacy entirely. Jaguar realizes that in a rapidly shifting market, they can't just iterate on past successes. They have to fundamentally mutate.
Mutating might be necessary, but it's a massive risk that could, well, alienate everyone. Which leaves us with this final thought.
Go for it.
If a vehicle's value is now driven by customizable scents and floating stone totems rather than the roar of an engine, what other traditional industry will soon have to completely abandon its past to survive the future?
Will that classic rock band have to sell their guitars for synthesizers just to stay relevant?
Exactly. Thank you so much for joining this deep dive and learning something new with us today.